What's up?
Blackmail me.
Mm, I think that's in the beginning. Maybe I didn't catch that, but we're here for another movie review, and tonight we're gonna talk about the Poughkeepsie tapes. Okay, so we just watched this mockumentary on Amazon Prime, and Lila thought it was a real
You
thing.
told me it was real.
Maybe I thought it was real
Oh my
too.
god.
We it looks pretty real,
It
doesn't
looks
it?
so real, dude.
It's a really well done mockumentary. It's
I don't
super
believe it.
entertaining. I loved it, but it's very disturbing. And it was released in 2007. It's an hour and 26 minutes long. I have some information about it pulled up. But here's a brief description. I'm going to read it off for you. Hundreds of videotapes of torture, murder, and dismemberment show a killer's decade-long reign of terror. So that's the brief description. It's basically, I don't know how you would say describe the opening. It kind of opens like a true crime documentary, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's told from the perspective of F FBI people and what would you call an analyst, like a crime scene analyst?
Mm-hmm. And like forensic
Oh yeah,
teams and
forensic
all that kind of stuff.
professionals, things like that. So it's pretty realistic looking on the surface. I think there were a couple of scenes where it shows this killer murdering people and stuff like that, and it gets a little bit, it's so theatrical that you're kind of like, all right, maybe this isn't real, but it's pretty believable, I thought.
Totally.
And the visuals are great. It's technically found footage, I guess you could say, but I
What do you mean?
what do you mean?
What do you mean?
Found footage? Oh well, the movie's found footage in the way that, like, the FBI and police find, like,
So is it real?
no, 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 but it's still the genre of found footage, because they're finding all these tapes. It's like Cannibal Holocaust. That's technically a found footage movie, but not all found footage movies are based off of a real thing. It's usually all fake or whatever. Oh, you know what? This is almost like Lake Mungo, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
And I love Lake Mungo. Lake Mungo is amazing. I actually want to watch it right now.
We
Now,
should.
if that's available somewhere, I would love to watch that and do a review as well. But, uh, a brief description, I gave you that already, but it's basically the FBI profiler people and victims, friends of the victims, the families, talking about how this serial killer eluded the police for a decade, and it goes over and breaks down all the footage that was found in this guy's house. It talks about the crime scenes, the bodies, and all this stuff. It's very disturbing, and it reels you in very quickly. It's believable, very upsetting. All these interviews with, like, the victims' families, it feels real, right?
Totally.
Like, you feel terrible watching it, and you're like, oh no, like, all these poor people, it really gets you. I I feel I feel like this is actually one of the more well done mockumentaries. I hold it right next to Lake Mungo, as I said before. It's definitely not in the same lane, but it's as good as Lake Mungo, in my opinion. Which do you like more, Lake Mungo or this?
This, I totally fucking believed it.
Oh yeah, yeah. And if you go and check it out for yourself, I think that you'll sort of see why it seems so believable. It's sort of like how the Blair Witch Project was released, and a lot of people were like, "Where are these kids? Like, what happened?" And I like that a lot. Like, it definitely makes you think it's real, I guess. it, minus some scenes, obviously, because it gets like some of the on-screen blood is like, all right, was it that easy to kill that person, or that easy for these people to just let a stranger ride in their car? Remember that?
Yeah, but I feel like people really were like that.
No, you're totally right. Like there are definitely people like that still, but uh,
Definitely.
there were just things that kind of made it what's so gave it away a little bit. But as a whole, it's very believable and very well done in that aspect. I think all the acting is super well done. I mean, that's probably one of the best things about the movie, wouldn't you say?
Mhm.
Because the people do a great job as these law enforcement type
Definitely.
characters, these forensic
And
professionals.
the victim families and
Oh yeah,
everything.
the victims' families were really believable. I don't want to go over the things I already said too much, but the movie as a whole is just very, what's the word? Very authentic looking on the surface. After seeing it and looking it up and stuff, I'm obviously like, oh, okay, all right, I see. The wool was pulled over my eyes for a little bit, but it was good. It was good that it did that. So all in all, I would give
I give it a 9 out of 10.
a 9 out of 10. I think,
I loved it.
yeah, this is a really well done mockumentary. It's only got 3 out of 5 stars on Amazon, I think, and that's terrible. I think.
Wait, so was that not Ted Bundy?
Oh, that was the other thing. Yeah, there's an interview with Ted
And they
Bundy in the
list him in the
movie.
cast.
Oh, was it just as Ted Bundy, or
It's just a Ted Bundy.
you know what? I that
It's real.
No, no, no.
Yeah.
We'll have
They're
to look that
lying.
up. Yeah, yeah. But there's a scene where a guy is talking to Ted Bundy, or it says that he is, and I found myself looking at the scene, and I was like, is that how Ted Bundy really sounds? I thought it was
Yeah. It
a
definitely
little
was a
silly.
little off.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that was obviously acting, because Ted Bundy was killed when? When was that? That
Oh,
was in the
fuck.
90s or
Oh, I think it
80s?
was the 80s.
80s or
I'm
90s?
not
Yeah,
100%
like,
sure, but.
that was obviously fake. But it was funny when that scene came up. I was like, oh, you're starting to lose me. But I liked what they had Ted Bundy say. it
Yeah.
was it was still really cool. Anyway, I think that basically sums up our review. I would probably give it an 8.5 or an 8 out of 10. Lila gives it a 9 out of 10. Very impressive mockumentary, so go check it out. It's free on Amazon Prime right now. There's also a Blu-ray release, finally, that I want to get a hold of eventually. Anyway, that's all. Go check it out.